So all the new iPhone 12 models are out now. However, a few wanted features are wanted, like a new iPhone 12 bigger battery upgrade in the iPhone 13. Well, I have some good news and early information on this and details of what we think the iPhone 13 release date and price might also be. If the iPhone 12 model is selling really well and many other YouTubers giving the iPhone 12 credit, many of you are saying that after watching these reviews that the iPhone 12 might not be worth the upgrade, especially that they don't have 120Hz refresh rate or even a better iPhone 12 battery life over the iPhone 11 in some cases. So for those disappointed fans, we have faith in the iPhone 12 successor, the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 2021, and all the details we know so far, including about the iPhone 13 design and specs and the iPhone 13 release date and price predictions. So unless you follow my channel regularly, a lot of you are wondering why I'm making an iPhone 13 video already when it's almost a year away since its launch. Well, the truth is that Apple work on some products years in the making, so it's fair to say the iPhone 13 has been in the works for some time already. It is a known fact that Apple work on products for years. In fact, in the late Steve Jobs bibliography, he mentions that the iPad, the original one, was started in 2000, the year 2000 that is, what is in fact 10 years before it even came out. In fact, it was thought as an idea before even the iPhone was an idea. Yet the iPhone got released first and the iPad came out 3 years later. Also in 2013, the first iPad Air came out, and Tim Cook also said that Steve, referencing to Steve Jobs, had been really looking forward to this product coming out, and was a shame that he never saw it actually being released, even though Steve Jobs sadly passed away in 2011. So it shows that Apple are working on multiple products years before they're even released. With that out of the way, let's start with the iPhone 13 battery. So right now the 4 iPhone 12 handsets are excellent smartphones, but there's one issue across the board, and that is battery life. In fact, many iPhone 12 battery tests, a lot of reviews are saying that they found that the regular 12 and both Pro models suffered less time compared to the iPhone 11, and the effect is especially pronounced when playing 3D games. Well, the good news is it looks like Apple won't be making that same mistake twice. According to Ming-Chi Kuo, the Apple analyst with a very strong record of getting accurate predictions, is saying that the iPhone 13 will come with a new type of battery called a soft board battery that could increase the capacity without making the footprint of the actual battery size any bigger. So you're probably wondering, what are soft batteries? Simply put, these new type of batteries have fewer layers than those in previous iPhones, meaning that Apple could increase capacity without making the phones thinner. Alternatively, Apple could make the iPhone 13 even thinner without losing battery life. Either way, it's pretty clear why Apple would be keen to switch to these type of batteries to make their iPhones smaller, as Apple like to do this, as they love to make their products thinner and thinner whenever they can. With this coupled with the new 120Hz display, the LPTO panels, and the new rumoured A15 chipset inside the iPhone 13, we could see massive improvements compared to the iPhone 12 battery life that has the new 5G modem and the A14 chipset in the iPhone 12 models. We have spoken briefly about this in the previous iPhone 13 video, but talking further about the iPhone 13 models, we have seen a leak from Ming-Chi Kuo, what is saying that next year we will get 4 iPhone 13 models just like the iPhone 12 models this year. And those 4 models will be exactly the same names as this year's, but with just a 13 instead. So the lineup will be the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13 normal, the iPhone 13 Pro, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. We have also been told there will be no changes to the actual screen sizes and the main body shape of the phone, except for a few tweaks here and there that Apple like to do when they bring out a new design, like they did with the iPhone 12 this year. So let's talk a bit more about those tweaks and changes to the design. It has been rumoured for a while that the iPhone 13 won't have a lightning port for wired charging or the ability to connect wired to a computer. Seeing that lapsed tweets mentioning here that there will only be a MagSafe or a smart connector charging isn't a surprise. It also builds off Apple's recent decision to stop shipping devices with charging bricks in order to reduce costs and electrical waste for themselves. Another leak we have heard for the current iPhone 13 prototype allegedly uses a Touch ID sensor hidden beneath the display, with the active area covering the bottom half of the screen for easy access. The iPad Air 4 just introduced just last week. The Touch ID was on the new device, and it was the first time a Touch ID button was added on a brand new design in ages. The new button is the actual power button on the side, and this allows you to use your finger to unlock the actual iPad. If this does come to be, I'm sure lots of fans will be welcoming this, as many Android phones feature this ability at the moment. Especially also at the moment that COVID-19 and wearing masks and the iPhone not always sure to unlock, or even setting up an alternative appearance not working all the time, a Touch ID button or a screen to have the ability to have Touch ID inside it might be a good call. The tweet also finally talks about the camera system to get a massive improvement in this leak, and that does sound really exciting, but to be honest it is quite vague to conclude what we'll actually be getting. We just saw the addition of a LiDAR sensor to be added to the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but perhaps it's time that Apple look to increasing its camera's resolutions beyond 12 megapixels with their bigger sensors inside the phone. Or we could finally see an upgrade to a bigger periscope optical zoom of 5 times, for example, to catch up with Android phones. So for release date and price, I normally talk about this first in my video, but as you can see, as we're going to be getting loads of new features like a bigger battery, 120Hz, a camera upgrade, and loads of other bits and pieces, you can probably imagine now that the iPhone 13 will probably have a slight price increase. We expect all models to jump up by $50 to $100 for this. So expect, for example, the normal iPhone 13 to between $849 to $999 for the base model, compared to $799 at the moment for the iPhone 12. For release date, it has been a bit unsure for the iPhone 12 this year due to COVID. However, if the pandemic does die down for next year, we expect the iPhone 13 to come out in September time, like it has done in many other years for other iPhone releases. Or we might see the phone being released again in around mid-October time, just like it has for the iPhone 12 if the pandemic does conclude on. So let's do a bit of a recap on the specs of the upcoming iPhone 13 models. So first of all, there are 4 models this year, just like there was with the iPhone 12. So the smallest model is the iPhone 13, and again it has a 5.4 inch OLED display with a resolution of 2340 by 1080, and we're believing this will have a 60Hz refresh rate panel on it. For storage size though, there will be a bit of a change in the iPhone 13. The smallest amount of storage will be 128GB, 256GB and also a 512GB storage option. The 64GB option looks like it's going to be dropped. Then for chipsets, we're looking to get the new A15 Bionic with 5G connectivity, what is around about 25 to 30% faster than the current A14 Bionic, what is around now in the iPhone 12, and that is still super powerful. For RAM, we're going to get 4GB of RAM inside it as well. It will have an aluminium body similar to the iPhone 12 mini, a dual camera setup on the rear, and the base model for that 128GB storage model will start in at $699. So next you have the standard iPhone 13. Again, this is a 6.1 inch OLED display just like the iPhone 12, and it has a 2532 by 1170 resolution screen, what again is also a 60Hz panel. Storage again just like the iPhone 13 mini, starts at 128GB and goes all the way up to 512GB storage options. There's also the A15 Bionic again with 5G connectivity connectivity, 4 gigs of RAM, the aluminium body as well, and also that dual camera setup on the rear of this phone, just like the iPhone 13 mini. And the base model will be starting in at $799 US, and that will give you the 128GB model. So the next phone after this is the iPhone 13 Pro. Again, it's a very similar size phone to the normal iPhone 13. It's a 6.1 inch OLED display, again with a resolution of 2532 by 1170. However, this time this screen will have a 120Hz refresh rate panel on it, what will be a change to the iPhone 12 Pro. And again, the storage options will be 128, 256, 512GB, and also a 1TB storage option for the first time on an iPhone. Again, the chipset power thing, this iPhone 13 Pro will be the A15 Bionic with 5G connectivity. It will have 6GB of RAM inside, and it will have a stainless steel body frame. There's also a triple camera setup on the back, including that possible periscope we may see as well, and also the LiDAR sensor. The base model is coming in at $999 US, and that will get you the 128GB storage space model. Then finally we have the iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is a 6.7 inch OLED display with a resolution of 2778 by 1280. Well, it's the same size as the iPhone 12 Pro Max. However, the big difference here is it also has a 120Hz refresh rate panel compared to the 60Hz rate panel what's on the normal iPhone 12 Pro Max. For storage, we have 128GB, 256GB, 512GB, and again that 1TB for the first time on an iPhone. Then for the chipset, we have the A15 Bionic again with 5G connectivity, 6GB of RAM, stainless steel body frame as well, just like the iPhone 13 Pro normal, a triple camera setup again, including that periscope possibly, and also the LiDAR sensor. And this base model will be coming in at $1,099 US. So as you can see guys, there are some big improvements on the iPhone 12 models, mainly with the Pro models having that 120Hz refresh rate display. For release date, it has been a bit unsure for the iPhone 12 this year due to COVID. However, if the pandemic does die down for next year, we expect the iPhone 13 to come out in September time, like it has done in many other years for other iPhone releases. Or we might see the phone being released again in around mid-October time, just like it has for the iPhone 12 if the pandemic does conclude on. So next, for design wise, we're expecting not many huge changes, more like enhancements to the current iPhone 12 design. The iPhone 12 is the newest design or newest shape since the release of the iPhone 10 or iPhone X in 2017. Apple generally like to keep their same designs in their phones for at least 3 or 4 years, and as the iPhone 12 is the newest design, we can't really see there will be a huge design change for the next version of the iPhone. For iPhone 13 colours, we're expecting the same colours as the iPhone 12, however we may see another new colour introduced. Something that Apple seems to be doing every year now is introducing a new colour to their platter for all their new models. However, they may also take a colour out, just like what they did with the iPhone 11 Pro models. We did have the midnight green, that has been switched out this year to get the Pacific blue. It is also worth noting that we're probably going to be getting 4 iPhones again. This will be the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13 normal, an iPhone 13 Pro, and an iPhone 13 Pro Max. And all 4 phones will have IP68 at 6 meters again for 30 mins. So this means chucking the phone into a 6 meter deep swimming pool if you can find one, or a clean lake on your vacation and you fancy diving down 6 meters within 30 minutes and rescuing it. In theory the phone should be, but you might not be yourself. So I have a few more details in my next video, including more information about the iPhone 13 camera setup and also the possibility if we will get a fourth camera lens on the back. But for now, like I said, it is very early days, but I'd love to know from you if you're excited about the iPhone 13 and will you be upgrading to one next year. Let me know in the comments below. Well guys, I will say it again, it is very early days, but if you have enjoyed watching this video, please do press the like button, and also at the same time as well, if you wanted the latest information on the iPhone 13 and also that giveaway, and also the latest on gaming news, tech news, reviews and comparisons, please do hit that subscribe button followed by the